It's literally a 10 by 15-ish room, and that is the space that I'm working with. Testing the microphone on this camera. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Hey, what's up everyone? It's Rob Balasabas here. I wanted to update everybody on the studio build that I'm doing here inside our den in my house. And I bought a bunch of the items from my shopping list. Now, if you haven't seen the first part of this series of me building a home video studio inside of our den, there should be a little pop-out that comes out right here. Watch that video, then come back here and hear all about part 2. Now, the studio build is part of a big announcement that I'm going to be sharing with all of you very, very soon, so stay tuned for that as well. You'll notice that the video quality on this particular video is much better than any other videos that I've shared on YouTube or social media. It's because I'm using my new camera, which I'll tell you a little bit about in a second. Now, in case we haven't met yet, my name is Rob Balasabas. I share tutorials on this channel, social media strategies, pre-recorded and live interviews with different experts, as well as vlogs daily, weekly, when I go to conferences and things like that. If you haven't subscribed yet, I'd love for you to subscribe so you can see some of the future videos that I share on this channel. Okay, so my studio build so far has been going really well. Let me give you a quick little tour of the space that I'm working with. That's probably the best thing to do first. Okay, so here we've got my desk. It's kind of just an IKEA desk. Couple desks here, some swag here from our friends at TubeBuddy that came in. I'll tell you about that in another video. I'll show that over to you guys. This is the room. I'm gonna do a quick 360. It's literally a 10 by 15-ish room, and that is the space that I'm working with. Got a tripod here, little shelf thing here with some gear. Got the tripod bag here. I'll tell you about all of these specific items in a second. That's my desk. Now I've got another desk here for the monitor, for a second monitor. And then I've got a chair and a lamp that I'm using right now. I'll tell you about the lighting situation and what I'm doing with the lighting. I've got another little ring light here, and I'll tell you all about that as well very, very soon in the rest of this video. So, okay, so that's the space that I'm working with. I will now get back to the desk. All right, so back to my shopping list. So I got through a bunch of the items on my list. I purchased them last week. It was Boxing Day, so it was a good time to purchase a lot of the items. There's still some items that I'm still waiting on from Amazon, but for the most part, I've got all of them with me inside this room. I had to make a couple audible calls as things were coming together, as I was going through the list, talking to different people, different experts, different people at the stores, at the camera stores and things like that. I had to add and remove some different items so that they would come together and actually fit this particular studio as best as possible. I'll tell you what those changes were and why I made those changes. I've already unboxed the product, so let me grab the boxes because I did keep those for you so that you can see which exact item I did pick up for this studio. Don't mind all of the mess. This is not going to be the way it is. It is a bit of a messy place right now just because all of the gear's in different places. This microphone is actually not even connected. I'm not using this one. I'm using the Rode mic on the camera, but this is where this Yeti mic will sit for different interviews and podcasts and webinars and things like that. This light right here, which is an IKEA floor lamp, is actually what I'm using right now in place of an actual softbox. So yeah, let me get the boxes. Alright, so here are all of the boxes, including this one, which is the monitor, which I will tell you in a second. Alright, first things first, camera. This is the camera that I went with. It's a Canon M50, and it came with a stock lens, 15 to 45 lens, which is awesome. It's a great deal that I got from Broadway Cameras. My friend Pow in the Surrey store. Shout out to you, thanks for hooking me up for all of most of the items here is from Broadway Cameras and Best Buy. So there's the camera. Canon M50, which is the one that I am using right now. Now, this camera came with one battery and a charger, of course. So I picked up another battery here, just a secondary battery. I'll probably pick up a third battery. I'm gonna be picking up the same one, the stock one that comes directly from Canon. I was told by the rep at the store that if you use a third-party or aftermarket battery, that the warranty is actually void. So I'm gonna play it safe. I'm sure that that's somewhat true. I'm going to be using all Canon batteries just to play it safe. That's just how I roll. I'm gonna be picking up a third battery so that if I'm at conferences or events, that I don't run out of power when I'm doing interviews and different things like that. So that is the second battery that I picked up. Now as far as memory, I picked up 2 SD cards. So these are 2 SDXC cards. These are SanDisk cards. So when I bought the camera, it actually came with 1 SD card already. And I just picked up a second one just to be safe, and they're both 64 gig cards. Should be way more than enough for day-to-day content creation. I'm gonna be sharing with you what I'm gonna be doing with memory storage for the long run. Those are the memory cards right there, SDXC cards, 64 gigs from SanDisk. As far as lenses, I stuck with my original shopping list. So the second lens that I got is an 11-22 right there, which is really good, which is exactly the one that I'm using right now. It has a really nice wide angle, which is really useful, especially for a small studio space like this one. It will also be really nice to be using this when I'm doing interviews at different conferences or vlogging and different things like that for those kind of purposes. So it actually has a really nice wide angle shot, and then also has a really good close-up shot. That's what I'm going to be rolling with as a secondary lens, which is the 11-22 Canon lens. Now for some more cinematic shots, I'm going with the 22mm pancake lens, which is really good as well. So for those sort of blurry background shots, those more cinematic shots that I'm going to be going for when I'm out and about and doing interviews and vlogging, and when I'm doing more on-site video shooting. So that is the one that I'm going to be going with, 22mm. Can't see it. Maybe that's better. There it is, the 22mm pancake lens. Let me know what you think of all of this gear so far. Really curious. This is all something that I'm learning about more and more as I create more content. Just different gear, different lenses, different lighting, all those things. So let me know. All right, let's talk about the tripod. The tripod that I'm using, I picked it up from Best Buy. It is just an Insignia lightweight tripod. Nothing really fancy there. It's just a tripod. And so I was actually going back and forth between using a monopod or a tripod. A lot of the content that I'm going to be creating is going to be in this room, in the studio. It's going to be a lot of tutorial videos and live streams and interviews. So I'm going to be using it here in the studio. Now, right behind this camera, you can't see it. I think if you rewind back to a little bit of my room tour, then you'll see that there's a door. The door that gets you out of the studio is right behind the camera. So I was thinking about getting a monopod because then I could use that. It's more lightweight when I travel and go to conferences and different things. But for this studio, I think it was a much better choice to go with a tripod so that it's more stable, so that in case somebody came in and opened the door and maybe knocked that camera tripod down, then it will stay standing up, versus if it was a monopod where it'll easily fall over. That's the tripod that I'm going with, nothing really fancy. I was kind of going back and forth as well with a couple of tripods on Amazon, but I ended up with this one. It was a really good deal at Best Buy, so just picked this guy up. It's an Insignia 58-inch lightweight tripod, so that's the one I've got. Okay, so let's talk audio. This is one of the changes that I made from the original shopping list. Again, if you go to this video right here, you'll see part 1 of my studio tour build, which is where you'll see the original shopping list. So this is the first change that I made. See it right there? See it right there? I was originally going to go with a blue snowball microphone, the white one. This is the one that I've always used for the last couple years when I was creating a lot of content. So when I was at Best Buy, when I was picking up a lot of the other items, I came across this one and it was a really good price. And also the one that I actually originally wanted. The reviews have been great on this particular microphone, especially for interviews. It works for a lot of different situations. So whether I'm just talking monologue by myself, whether it's omnidirectional, which is when I have multiple people around the microphone, or if it's bidirectional, which is just me and another person, we can just use this microphone in between us. So it'll be like me, microphone, and then the person here. And also stereo. So again, it works really well for different situations, which is going to be really good, again, when I'm at different conferences and things. Obviously, when I'm here and doing interviews or live streams or creating content, eventually I want to test out connecting this to the camera so that the audio is much closer to me rather than the Rode mic, which is what I'm using now. Now, as far as the camera audio, this is the one that I went with, which is the Video Micro Rode mic. This is a really popular microphone that a lot of YouTubers and content creators use for their cameras. So as far as memory storage, like I mentioned, I'm using these SD cards for the camera when I'm recording. Then I'm going to be transferring all the files and backing them up on this 2 terabyte Seagate external hard drive. It's nice and slim. I'm going to be taking it with me when I travel. I'm going to be using it here at the office. This will probably last me for quite a fair bit. It is 2 terabytes, and so it's probably going to last me quite a while. And then from there, I'll probably pick up either another 2 terabyte external hard drive like this one, or get something a little bit bigger. So we'll play it by ear. So probably in the next few months, you'll see me pick up another external hard drive, but this one will be doing the job very well for now. Okay, there's 2 items that aren't on the original shopping list that I did pick up while I was out and about. So the first thing that I realized that I needed when I was starting to build the studio and sitting here and looking at what I needed and trying to imagine the different situations and scenarios that I would be working with is that I needed a second monitor on top of my MacBook monitor. I looked online and I actually found a couple really cool Acer and Asus and HP monitors. I went to my local Best Buy and I was looking around and I actually came across a much nicer monitor. It was again, Boxing Day week, so I had a really good deal on it. So the monitor that I picked up is this one. This right here, which is a 32-inch Samsung curved monitor, and it's in white, so it actually works well with the room, works really well. So it's sitting over here, and you'll see it in some of the feature videos where I'm gonna be putting it up here closer to me so I can see what the guests are doing and comments and things like that when I'm doing live streams and different interviews. So that's the second monitor that I picked up. This is one of the things that I added to the original shopping list. So there you go. Okay, the other thing that I realized I needed was a backpack. So right now, I usually roll around with this Facebook backpack that I picked up from the Facebook HQ in San Francisco. When I was there and I visited a buddy of mine while I was there for a conference. So I usually use this one, but it's a regular backpack, right? You know, it's just, I mean, it's a regular backpack, it's great, it carries my laptop and notebooks and charging cables and all that stuff, but it's not made for cameras, right? Where things can break and there's lenses and there's fragile items. So started looking around at different backpacks. To be honest, it was really hard to find a backpack in person. I was almost going to be just picking one up from Amazon or somewhere online. I was getting a lot of retargeting ads from different backpack companies on Instagram and Facebook, but my brother-in-law actually told me to go check out Henry's, which is self-proclaimed Canada's biggest camera store. So I went to Henry's here locally in Vancouver and picked up a backpack. So let me show you that. 1 second. Okay, so I picked up this one. It's from Roots. It was actually a really good deal. It was like 40% off or something, and it's perfect. I love the color. It's blue. I don't know if you can tell. It's like a really nice navy blue. It's got a lot of compartments in it. Let me open it up for you. And if I open this up, then it's got all the compartments in here. It's got sort of like this rain jacket thing that you can put over if it's raining. You know, if I do any cool like outdoor hikes with my gear. But yeah, and then it also opens up and has even more space for other things, you know, clothes and gear and other stuff. And then also in the back, which is awesome, which is one of the things I really wanted, because I didn't want to be carrying 2 backpacks when I traveled. This one has a top case in the back. So I can put my laptop in the back, gear up in the front, and some clothes and stuff like that, you know, here on the top. This is built by Roots, which is a Canadian company, I think, still. Alright, so that's what I've picked up so far. There's a few items that I've ordered from Amazon, which should be coming here in the next couple days. First thing is a Thunderbolt to HDMI cable that connects the monitor to my MacBook Air. 2 things that are really big are lights, which you'll notice I'm using this light right now, and also this floor lamp, which is going to be replaced by a softbox, and also some fill lights that's going to be pushing on the back. So the look of this studio will look a little bit different. Maybe not the next video, but maybe a couple videos after this one, you'll notice that the lighting has changed. Those are going to be coming on its way. And then just a couple other things as far as cables go that connects my camera to the MacBook, and that's really it. So they're all coming from Amazon, which should just be here in the next couple days. So stay tuned for that. I'll share those with you and give you a bit of an update once those things come in, and then you'll see the lights change and everything here will be a little cleaner and nicer. And then also here in the front, there'll be some different trinkets and things that I want to put on here just to kind of add some flavor to the set. Oh, I'm also really curious. My good friend Todd Bergen, who is an incredible YouTube creator and also on Instagram and LinkedIn, told me to pick up the Philips light set. It's something that I'm thinking about. Let me know if you're using that. Let me know what you think of it. I've kind of figured out my lighting for now, which is something I'm going to be rolling with, but I'm really curious about what the Philips light set is doing for you. I like the look of different colors and stuff like that in the background, so might be something I'll check out and test out in version 2 of this studio. Alright, so that wraps it up for part 2 of the studio build video series that I'm building here inside my den at home. If you have any recommendations, feedback, suggestions, let me know in the comments. Would love to hear what you think of all these different items that I picked up so far. I'm always open to tips to make this studio even more awesome. And so until next time, I'll see you in the next video. Take care. Bye-bye. Hey, so before you go, I just want to make sure that it is very clear that none of these items were sponsored by Broadway Cameras or Best Buy or Amazon. I'm not putting down any affiliate links in the description to any of these items by any means. I think that these are all the items that are going to do really well and help me create some awesome content from this little studio. So yeah, just want to make sure that that's all clear and good. I look forward to sharing some really awesome, exciting news with all of you in the next couple weeks. Stay tuned, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care. Bye-bye.